She-Hulk versus Daredevil. Who would win? In court, I mean. Who's the better, more dedicated legal mind in the Marvel comic book saga? And who should be the attorney-based powerhouse in the MCU? Now look, I'm a real attorney in the state of New York since 1998, and I'm going to give you the lowdown on She-Hulk and Daredevil as attorneys in the comics. So, welcome back to the Mama Saga, where this Marvel-loving mama is a mother by day and also an attorney by day, but breaks down comic book sagas, movies and shows like Miss Marvel by night. Now, ladies first, She-Hulk or Jennifer Walters, Esquire. In my recent video, Who Does She-Hulk Work For?, I discussed Jennifer Walters' firm Goodman, Lieber, Kurtzberg, and Holloway, and many of the superhumans whose interests she defended once she joined the GLKH Superhumans Law Division. So if you missed that video, be sure to check it out after you're done watching this video. Anyhow, suffice it to say, Jennifer was quite the powerhouse, handling cases in both California and New York, and even later on in space itself. Over the course of her career in comic book sagas, Miss Walters has covered cases involving patent law and Iron Man, slander representing Spider-Man versus J. Jonah Jameson and the Daily Bugle, privacy rights when the Superhero Registration Act reared its ugly head, immigration-related issues for Dr. Doom's son, and sexual assault, defending the rights of a Thanos-possessed Star Fox. Of course, she also had a case directly with Matthew Murdock in a wrongful death case involving Captain America. So before we get to that, let's explore the attorney-based background of Daredevil, or Matt Murdock, Esquire. So quick backstory, Matt Murdock, as a young boy, was blinded by a radioactive substance when he was a young boy. Although he lost his sight, his other four senses were heightened to the point where they reached superhuman levels of strength and power. Murdock grew up, went to Columbia University with his friend Foggy Nelson, and they obtained their law degrees and ultimately opened up a practice together, Nelson and Murdock. Okay, so far so good. Matt Murdock is a lawyer by day and a crime-fighting vigilante by night. And well, this routine worked, until it didn't. Between Murdock's clashes with Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, who's recently been brought fully into the MCU during his stint in the Hawkeye miniseries on Disney+, and his tussling with the Hand, a criminal ninja clan, and his having a running beef with the Punisher, since they both want to fight crime, but they wanted to solve the problem by coming to very different outcomes. Well, Daredevil, or really Matt Murdock, Esquire, ends up having his practice of law suffer in favor of his life as a vigilante, causing the demise of Nelson and Murdock. It turns out Foggy Nelson just couldn't deal with Murdock's double life. For a time, Matt shelved the Daredevil vigilante life to focus on private solo practice as an attorney in New York City, but you know what? That didn't really stick, and then Matt Murdock decided to flip the script and just become Daredevil full-time, dropping his life as a lawyer in the process. But then the script gets flipped again after Daredevil gets the upper hand in his long-running feud with Kingpin, defeating him and blackmailing him to buy some space, whereupon Matt Murdock, the lawyer, makes a serious comeback, and Matt, Foggy Nelson, and fellow attorney Karen Page create a new law firm, Nelson, Murdock, and Page. So many changes. Do you have whiplash yet? And of course, we've recently witnessed Matt Murdock being brought full bore into the MCU when he represented the interests of Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the movie Spider-Man No Way Home. So for now, it would seem that Murdock's more of a lawyer and less of a vigilante-type bad guy destroyer. We'll see how long that lasts, since Matt Murdock is expected to make appearances in the She-Hulk miniseries dropping in August. The verdict. Jennifer Walters managed her work-life balance a heck of a lot better, in my opinion, than Matt Murdock did. It seemed like every time the dude turned around, he was having a midlife crisis about what and who he wanted to be when he grew up. Jennifer? Nah. She always knew that she was going to be an attorney and always managed to do her She-Hulk superhero gig as a side hustle while working a varied and complex caseload that would make Jerry Spence, one of the best human trial attorneys in America, faint. And as for that courtroom drama where Jennifer Walters defended the interests of Captain America in a wrongful death case that was prosecuted by Matt Murdock, guess who won? That's right, She-Hulk herself. So if I absolutely had to pick who the better attorney is between the two superheroes, it would totally be She-Hulk. And both those attorneys are going to continue to practice law in the MCU going forward. You can count on that. Anyway, since I'm a lawyer in real life, I cannot wait for She-Hulk to come out on Disney Plus on August 17, 2022. In the weeks leading up to that, I'm going to be detailing more about the legal career of Jennifer Walters, her mysterious managing partner Holden Holloway, her archenemy Titania, her extension of her legal practice into the field of universal law through the efforts of the Living Tribunal, and all sorts of lawyer-based analysis of superhuman law that appeared in the Marvel comic book saga that may translate into the MCU in Phase 4 or even Phase 5. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe to the Mama Saga for more comic book saga breakdowns, salty mama style. Thanks for watching. Take care.